If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your fatal words I will show.
Happy Overreaction Week 2 Monday to everyone in the sports universe. This is the AM Drive. For Aaron Crouch in Las Vegas, Nevada, I am Michael Carvelis in Savannah-ish, Georgia. Aaron, I know you had to have had a good sports weekend, especially I believe all three of your teams won, besides the Red Sox at this point.
The Patriots didn't win last night.
Well, I thought you were – hold on now. I thought you were a Buccaneers fan.
I am. I like both. Like, nothing changes. What is with y'all people? I don't understand
Your Facebook post killed me, man.
Yeah, well, when they don't win, I don't post them.
Fair point. I mean, Patriots did what they could. I didn't think they were going to keep up with the offense in the end. But they kept up with Tyreek Hill, and that helps.
Yeah, I mean, you could call that keeping them in check. I mean, what do you have, like 50 yards and a touchdown?
Yeah, it's pretty funny because that's actually a bad day for him at this point.
Yeah, when you compare it to last week, of course.
Yeah. Head to MikeandAaronDrive.com to get the merch like he's wearing from our shop. And also check out our Fanatics link when you click the F, and we love it when you do that. MikeandAaronDrive.com for the best in everything that we do, but most importantly, money. All right. So we got to get to our best and worst of the weekend. Aaron, would you like me to go first on my worst?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. I know you're excited to hear this. So my worst is, I'll admit, and we'll get to this later, I was not planning on watching the Colorado State game, but I kind of like just stayed up for it anyways. But right before that, we're stuck watching the end of Tennessee and Florida, which is going a little bit over because Tennessee's trying to make it cute late. And then when Tennessee has officially lost all hope with 4 seconds left on like a 3rd and 12 or whatever for Florida, Josh Heupel, Vols coach, called the timeouts. I was like, well, it's a rivalry game. I mean, I get it, but something didn't feel right. And then Florida, does the walk back kneel just to run out the clock completely. And Graham Mertz, I believe is the quarterback's name, who's a transfer from somewhere.
Wisconsin.
Yes, Wisconsin. He gets blasted when he tries to take the knee. And as you will guess, punches were thrown. And they had to wait to storm the field, and eventually did storm the field. But we're there about 13, whatever it was, the final score of that game. Whatever it was, I don't know what Josh Heupel was thinking. I thought it was complete Bush League. It's one thing to call a timeout because that's controversial anyways. But to do that and almost like telling a guy to tee off, there was no way he didn't tell his players not to tee off. Now, granted, the refs may not have called a great game. That's fine. It's not Florida's fault. You guys got punched in the mouth, and even when their quarterback had both hands injured, you still could not come back, pal. That was a Bush League move, especially when your defender tees off on the quarterback. I hope Graham Mertz isn't hurt. I don't think he is, but that was just a stupid, stupid move by Josh Heupel. I didn't think it was a good look.
I didn't catch the end of that game. It got out of hand early, so I quit watching it. So I did hear that there was some brouhaha at the end there, but
that's why.
Interesting.
Yep. What is your worst? I love hearing this.
So my worst of the week, which could theoretically be a best, depending on how you view this, I guess you could say. But I mean, for me, it's a happy worst, I guess you could say. Alabama, for the first time in 128 releases of the AP poll, which is about 8 years, is not in the top 10.
It is the best.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're an Alabama hater, which I don't know if I'm a hater. I do. Excuse me.
Good morning.
I don't hate Alabama, but I don't. I like to see other people. There was a whole big kerfuffle with UCF after their undefeated season, and Alabama wouldn't schedule them and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. But after a 17-3 win in which they were knotted at 3 for a majority of the game, the Alabama Crimson Tide beats one of the worst, and I know that they're a rival UCF, and that's not what
I was going to say. Bittersweet.
But that's not why I say it. They are literally statistically third worst in college football, FBS. 17-3. That's not Nick Saban football. Like, this team is bad. Like, this is a game I definitely watched a lot of this Saturday, and it's. Milroe obviously was benched. The backup, I forget his name. The backup quarterback
5 for 13 or whatever.
He was bad. Like, they just have nothing in the cupboard. Like, I understand, Nick Saban's, angry with the NIL and the transfer rules, and I honestly think that he's falling behind. And it's unfortunate to see that, but eventually coaches like Nick Saban, like Bill Belichick, the game just moves on from you and you don't really even notice it. Now, maybe I'm making a huge assumption because they are still like a number 13 team in the nation, but did that team look like a number 13 team in the nation to you?
No, and we'll get to the other like top 5 teams, but yeah, not this moment, no.
Right. So I think it's wild, in my opinion, to see, a little bit of like Nick Saban having trouble with the curve there. So.
Fair point. I like it. It was a bittersweet worst. Wasn't as bad as your other worst a few weeks ago, but that was a good. I like that one. That was good.
What was my worst?
The Rays player. That was rough.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
Best of the weekend, and this one was probably 3rd or 4th on my list if I had to do like a top of my best. But because we're going to talk about the other 3 kind of, I guess I got to go with this one because we're not going to talk about it. It's lacrosse. And not just any lacrosse. As bad as I know, I reported that they were going to broadcast their own draft to save money. I wrote a whole article the day of the draft just because I love clicks. What that did not overshadow what had happened. Dyson Williams, really good lacrosse player, drafted number 1 overall. His father, who is the coach for the Denver Dogs in Las Vegas, obviously, just to let you know, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame a day earlier, and it still brought an even bigger picture on sports because even Dyson mentioned it. He says he's playing for Tucker. Tucker is the little brother who died in 2014 at 8 years old, who I believe is like 6 years younger, was 6 years younger than Dyson Williams, died of cancer. And he said they had dreams of playing lacrosse together. And being a family-oriented sport, yeah, they probably could have. And it stinks that he's not here, but it's also where sports can help you deal with things. And I'm sure lacrosse, you're motivated playing for your brother. The whole lacrosse community loves the guy. They do a whole thing in Buffalo every year, where they design jerseys for like this kid. It's incredible. He had a positive spirit. So I thought the Williams family in lacrosse, great weekend for them, even though it was kind of bittersweet.
I could see that. I mean, the death was almost 10 years ago. So
right, it's a good story though. But
it seems like it's more of a good weekend than a bad weekend at this point.
Yeah, for sure. What's your best?
My best of the weekend is the Pac-12. I mean, they've put on a clinic. Everyone from Colorado to Oregon. I mean, minus the bottom feeders, but
right.
There's not too many of them in the Pac-12, which is ironic for a lame duck league at this point. They have 8 teams ranked inside the top 25.
No offense to the Oregon Ducks. You said lame duck league.
No, okay. 8 teams in the top 25, which is SEC type numbers, which is crazy to think that, like, I mean, I don't know if contracts have been signed, but what if the Pac-12 commissioner could just come in with an 11th-hour deal of, from any of these, keep the Pac-12. I don't know. It's weird to me that the Pac-12 is just dissolving, and like teams like Stanford and Cal are going to be in the ACC. Like, it just makes no sense to me.
Oh.
So for right now, best of the week, Pac-12, 8 teams ranked in the top 25.
That's not a bittersweet thing. Like, it's like we're dissolving, but hey, we're still here.
It's so weird that they're going out on such a high note.
It's rough. AM Drive 5 recap, by the way. Remember, head to MikeandAaronDrive.com to tail us or fade us. You see our socials and everything on there. We are going to break even at least after 7-3 starts. I know the Chargers absolutely screwed you, and that's annoying. But you did come through with the Rams to keep it close, and they did just 7 points. That was good for you. I believe I've got like 50 and 35 in NFL best. I might have to do all NFL going forward because I'm like killing NFL. And if I get it tonight with the Browns and Steelers, I'm going to be even happier. Then we will be positive, by the way. But you held on for that Rams game, so we are going to at least get 5 of them out of the 10, and hopefully get the 6th one tonight.
Yeah, because you're 3-1. You got a Monday night game, and then I went 2-3. The Florida State game, they stumbled out of the gate. The first quarter, they stumbled the whole time, but they eventually built a pretty comfortable lead, but had to hold on. And then Kansas State, just weirdly shocking, like down in the red zone, fumble the ball, let Missouri go 97 yards to tie it up at half. Was just
oh wow, that's a brutal week.
So I don't scream bad beat too many times, but that Kansas State game felt like a bad beat in the first half.
Well, at least you weren't like the Colorado fans who were on Twitter after Travis Hunter got blew up in his spleen. They still don't disclose what that injury is, by the way. There was all these fans saying, FanDuel, refund my money for Travis Hunter. Like, no, this is how gambling works. If that gets hurt, come on.
I'm so tired of that. Oh my God.
It's getting worse. But anyways, regardless, Aaron, I wrote an article on it. If you read it, I think I sent it to you.
I did read it.
I think you have to agree with me. This is up there with Coach Prime. And again, I think this was a horrible win, like in a way. Although I do think driving 98 yards for Shedeur Sanders probably helped him more than helped Colorado at this point because he was incredible in that last drive. But do you think we're witnessing some sports history here that we're just going to have to look back and say in 10 years you had to be there? Because I was captivated by this game. Most people on the East Coast apparently were because there was jokes on Twitter about it.
So it's funny you say that because I'll preface this by saying I didn't watch the game.
Well, you're the Pac-12 after Dark King over there.
I know, and I will say this, and it's whether it's an excuse or not, it's really hard to watch late football when bedtime routine takes shape. But I do agree with you. I think this beginning of an era of Colorado football. I wonder if Colorado was like 4-7 or 5-7 or 6-6 last year, if any of this really matters, because theoretically, and this isn't a dig on Deion Sanders, you do what you can with the rules that are in place, but theoretically, this is everything that's a lot of purists think is wrong with college football. 58. I did mention your free agency line in there, just to let you know. Yeah, 68 transfers. It's a brand new team. This is such a fake turnaround, in my opinion. This isn't turning around Colorado football with the scrubs that were on there last year. No offense to the 2022 Colorado Buffs, but full offense, actually.
Right.
Like, this isn't a underdog story. Now, are there people who didn't believe in them? Sure. I still don't know if I believe in them. I was really hoping that they would kill Colorado State so I could get a line like 10 in the Oregon game and just pound it, because I think they're going to get pounded by Oregon. But they didn't. They went 2 overtimes with a team that they were 24-point favorites.
And they were down by 10 late.
What am I supposed to feel about this team? Like, this is just, it's unnecessary hype, but it's Deion. That's always been Deion. Like, I watched Deion in the 90s. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorites to watch. Two-sport athlete, played for the Braves. I saw him live when he played for the Reds. He played for obviously so many teams. You see all the highlights in football. There was nobody like him. Like, you got a two-way player. You got Shohei Ohtani. Like, Shohei Ohtani can't set foot on a football field. There's nobody like him. There may never be anybody like him with the amount of money that's been given to players. Like, there's no need to play 2 sports. But I'm supposed to back the Colorado Buffaloes because Dion bought his whole team sunglasses. Like, I don't understand it. Like,
Right.
I just don't get it. He didn't turn around a program. He went in with a bunch of transfers. He basically went in with free agency and said, I've got $0 spent of the salary cap. So I literally can carte blanche shop the entire transfer pool. And for whatever reason, you can have your decision. You can have your reasons. I mean, you can believe what you want, but there are going to be a lot of players that want to play for Coach Prime.
Yeah, and it's really intriguing. Like, we're talking about Nick Saban, and like how I don't know if he's against it, but it's not helping him being so stoic and mean and tough guy by the rules. I will say, as far as that is concerned, though, that game was very close to being my worst until it finished very clean. Because from the pregame BS, and I'm not even talking about the press conference stuff, just the pregame wanting to fight. There's rumors that Travis Hunter talking a lot of trash led to him getting like blindsided.
It was a late hit. 100% it was a late hit, but I mean.
But it's like.
I'm not condoning it.
Dion's got to control these guys because he is the Hall of Famer in this spot. He is like, if you want to beat Oregon and USC and those top programs, those guys are very level-headed. That was semi-pro for the first half of that game.
Yeah, and like, do I think Jay Norvell's comments were silly? Sure, I do. I mean, if in your mind he went low, he being Dion, you went just as low or lower by calling him out on it. If you're the respectful head coach, you go out there and you say, look, he can do whatever he wants, but we're going to put a good product on the football field, and we're going to try to beat him. Or he could say nothing. Now,
right.
I don't disagree with what he said. I mean, like, you have some, a modicum of respect. When you're, I mean, that's old school, I guess. When I go into a restaurant, if I have a hat on, I take my hat off. Like, you don't wear sunglasses indoors. Blah blah blah. I get it. New school, old school vibe, whatever. Like, I honestly don't care what Deion Sanders does as long as he wins. But at the same time, like, you're right. Like, these players on Colorado are being led by, they're following the example. And
that's my point. Yep.
Prime, maybe it's not the greatest example, but I mean, I can't speak for you, but I live in a different era of growing up. You walk on the football field, you play your heart out. Like, it's not just Colorado, just the celebratory ignorance that happens in sports today. I mean, you sack a quarterback and you're down 17 points and you want to celebrate.
Like swimming on the turf.
No freaking sense. You hit a home run, you're down 11-1 now. Like, and you're walking around home plate. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The bat flips in baseball. It's like, you're down when you're down 7 points, and when you're up, 10 runs. Sure, go ahead, go crazy.
In the playoffs, Joey Bats, do that, please.
But I mean, nobody's talking about Sanders trying to poke a guy's eye out.
That was brutal.
I'm just waiting for that big slice of humble pie, and I hope it's coming from Oregon. If it's not, it's coming from USC.
That'll be a big story for Bo Nix.
I haven't wavered off this in 5 weeks or whatever it is. Like, I'm becoming less of a fan of Prime each week.
And I am too, but I still had to appreciate the moment I'm in, because I don't know if this lasts a year or two. They lose 5 games each of the next 2 years, and it's over. So I feel like at least I'm tuned in, because there's a sports moment that I can't get away from. I can't.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And I don't think you're the only one. But like I said, when they beat TCU, a TCU team who literally revamped their offense.
Yep.
Y'all believe us now? No, I don't.
Matt Rule's trying to resurrect another program. No, I don't believe that either.
Okay? I'm a little more impressed with the Nebraska win. But my point being is, if you're 7-5, none of this means anything.
Right, 9-3 doesn't mean much either. If you're talking this,
9-3 would be pretty impressive. But again, like, you're going to the Big 12 next year. You might almost be a favorite in the Big 12 next year with Texas and Oklahoma leaving.
Should I delete this hashtag, or are you going to say it one more time for us? Or are you tired of it?
No, it can stay this. I mean, I'm not tired of Dion. I don't. It's so hard to say. Like, I don't know if I personally have a problem with Dion himself.
I like his energy.
I mean, his energy, the way he allegedly treats these guys,
which is good, yeah.
Yeah, they have, a guidance that keeps them, you would like to think keeps them grounded, but they are starting to show some lack of sportsmanship, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't love it. And I also think, like, off the field, it's like Dion, like, but people are throwing shots at him too. I mean, the Jay Norvell comment doesn't mean anything. The Matt Rule comment, like, why are you guys doing this?
That's a good point. I mean, it's giving him ammo. I don't know. Maybe they're getting paid to say that stuff just to make it. I don't know. It's weird.
I get what you're saying, and I don't necessarily buy it, but I can understand why you think that way.
Right. Quick thoughts. I put Florida State in there because they are good. They do have a win over LSU. Like Texas has a win over Bama, but of course those right now are both probably maybe nothing. We'll see. But Bama, Texas, Georgia, and Florida State all. Woo! Carson Beck's not good. Jalen Daniels, whoever's behind, well, not Jalen. The Jalen Milroe is not good. Florida State's got probably the best quarterback in the group. Well, Quinn Ewers, but even again struggling with Wyoming.
You're all over the place.
At home,
and they moved up too.
Well, they pulled away by like 21 points late, so I can understand. But Georgia and Bama, wow, that was rough.
Yeah, Georgia, I mean, and the thing is, yeah, Georgia didn't look their best. I mean, you called it. I don't think you called it this close, but Georgia didn't look their best, but I still have no problem with them, number one. I've told you, they have to almost lose to fall off that top spot, in my opinion. Michigan, Michigan probably looked the best out of these four teams. I mean, these top four teams. I'm not talking about the four that you have on the screen, but the top four teams. USC didn't play it. They had the day off. And
about time.
They couldn't move up from getting the day off. I was surprised to see that, but
that's weird.
Ohio State looked good.
Yeah, I know Travion Williams. Oh, I really like his back. Another Ohio State running back who's I think is really good. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't think Western Kentucky would give him much of a game, but god dang, they destroyed him. I think it was like they almost put up 70. I think it was 64-10 or something like that. But enough. Yeah, I mean. Florida State had a tough time. They pulled away for a while and then just kind of stopped playing football. It was weird.
I could argue that Boston College, though, because of the red bandana game, I thought that was kind of an excuse for Florida State. They're on the road. The other teams were at home. Well, South Florida doesn't count, but you get it.
South Florida plays in the Buck Stadium, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's not even a home game, technically. I mean, on-campus home game. But, yeah, it's – I mean, I think we'll have to obviously find out on Wednesday, but I think the top five is maybe right where it should be.
MikeandAaronDrive.com. Drive safe, you idiots. And when we come back, we're talking actual football. It's funny how Saturday has us stories and Sundays, like we can forget about everything. So we're talking Sunday football coming up next. And then, of course, stay tuned for Monday night's bets. It's the AM Drive.
Welcome back here to the Monday edition of the AM Drive, presented by Agridime, the leaf cutter. Up in the top left-hand corner, when you go to MikeandAaronDrive.com, you click the logo that looks just like that. Finest, high-quality meats shipped directly to your door just in time for smoking season. It's getting cold, chilly out there, so make sure that you get your smoker fired up and get the best meats, once again, delivered directly to your door for a fraction of the price. When you use promo code AM Drive, you get 10% off. Tell the boys at Agridime that the boys at AM Drive sent you. We appreciate it. Or hashtag something burgers.
I'll put that on there next time. So
or hashtag shankful that you want to buy something burgers.
We are that too. By the way, speaking of getting cold, it is nice when it rains now. It is not like sweaty and humid afterwards. When it rains the last few nights, it's been cold afterwards. So that's it. It's about that time. I'm excited for football.
Yeah, we're down in the 80s at night, so that's a good start.
It's like 65 and it rains. That's even better.
We'll get there. We'll get some snow here this year.
Right. Sunday Night Football, newsflash, Boston has tough fans. Tyreek Hill let us know that. That's fine. I don't know every athlete feels compelled to say that at this point. I understand, like, they might. I feel like every fan base says something really stupid and heinous to you. You may not just hear it, though. But regardless, Dolphins beat the Patriots 24-17. I thought Patriots would try to keep it low scoring. They did. But too much Dolphins, too much Tua, too much Tyreek Hill in a way, too much Jalen Waddle. You get it. I think Tua's 5-0 against Bill Belichick. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stat.
Yes,
to
it
be
is.
to be anything an O against Bill Belichick. But again, we talked about taking Bill Belichick the last 2 years plus, and however long he decides to stay, with a grain of salt. Yeah, I mean, I understand Tyreek Hill has outlandish comments. This one, he may have a beef one. I don't know if you remember when he was with the Chiefs, if somebody threw a beer on him. So, I mean, he could have some ill will with that one. But, I mean, you could find anybody in the world, take their opinion. They're going to have a different, worst fan base in the world. So, I see this all the time on, like, Instagram videos or top 10 lists. And it's like top 10 worst fan bases. And everybody's is different depending on who you are, who your rival is. But anyways, yeah, this one's tough. I mean, I hate when games come down to referees' decisions. And I know we had an issue here at the end of the game. I was just really shocked how it went from first down on the field to, after reviewing it, a measurement wasn't even necessary. Like, it went from first down. They finally look at it and they're like, he was short of the line to gain, which I in real time, I actually thought he was short. But my point being is that how the reversal to not even measuring it, from first down to not even measuring it, is just a complete 180 to me. Again, Patriots didn't play well enough to win this game. Defensively, I thought they held Tyreek in check. I thought they played an overall good game. Letting Mostert run for 100 yards to me is just insane. But I think we're at the point where taking out their best weapon, quote unquote, is not good enough for Bill Belichick's teams anymore. Like, you've got to score points now too. And
Yeah.
I thought Mac Jones played pretty well last night. I mean, he didn't play as well as Tua. He obviously was overshadowed by Tua, but I thought Mac Jones played a good game. It's just I can't figure out this team. Like, in my opinion, too much Zeke. These 2-yard plows they aren't doing it for me. And
what are they going to do now? I can only wonder.
Ramondre Stevenson is not being used as full value. I know he had a touchdown yesterday, but that's your number one back. Zeke should not be getting, however many carries he got. Just looking at it in real time, to me, it was too many carries. And I'm going to look up and see how many he actually got.
There were a lot of reports that a lot of teams thought Zeke was done. And he just didn't have the gas anymore to do that stuff.
5 carries. I feel like he got more than that.
But 5 is still a lot, though. That's a lot.
Well, Ramondre is only getting 50. And I know he caught a few.
How much carries did Ramondre have?
15.
He said 50. I was like, what?
No, he did have 50 yards, though.
Right. 15. Yeah, that 15 is not enough. I agree. And they were close the entire game, so I don't know why they're not using that. It's not like they had to pass it a million times. Like, that's just weird.
No, he threw 42 passes.
That's a lot of passes for. And again, Mac Jones at Alabama, he had a good team around him, but he did enough. He was like the Jimmy G, the Brock Purdy, the insert name here. You don't need him throwing 42 times if your team is keeping it close. Stay to your game plan.
Yeah, it felt like Zeke was involved way more in the offense. I don't know. Maybe I was back and forth watching this game, but for me, it's just, I had higher hopes for the Patriots this year. But to be fair, they've had the ball with a chance to win or tie the game in both games. So I don't know.
Chiefs beat. This was like the Commanders and Broncos game. You're thinking to yourself, okay, that's gonna be low scoring. Chiefs Jaguars might be a shootout, and it's all in the 180s.
Complete opposite,
this game to me didn't go as. It definitely did not go as high as I thought it would. But I thought I was concerned with both teams trying to play physical defense. Although Chris Jones being back helped, I was thinking to myself, okay, this might be one of those slow playoff type games just because the teams respect each other. It's got to feel good for Doug Peterson, but 9 points is not gonna makes you feel that much worse. So this is bad. Jaguars, this is bad. No, you can't put up 9 points. Chiefs defense is young. It's coached by Spagnuolo. That's fine. Come on, 9 points. Let's not do that again.
I mean, I think what it's shown us is that Chris Jones matters, and you know, I mean, not saying they got a ton of points. You know, Detroit got a ton of points last week, comparatively speaking, to what they did.
14
this week.
But
yeah, but you know, I mean, the Chiefs have given up 14 and 9 in 2 weeks. So, I mean, the defense is coming along just fine. I mean, a bunch of those rookies last year played in the Super Bowl. They've got a lot of experience. They're coming around. I don't know what I feel about this offense. I mean, I understand Jacksonville has, you know, a better defense, but I mean, I don't know. I guess they're doing what they got to do to win, but you know, I just they don't look like a Super Bowl team right now. It's wild to say that because they are still good. I mean,
yeah, Mahomes. I mean, but
I don't know. I mean, the receivers looked a lot better this week than they did last week. You know, Sky Moore finally showed up. You know, 3 catches, 70 yards. Tony had 5 catches. You know, it's just there's so many guys in that locker room that are gonna, you know, they need them they don't need them all to step up at once. They just need a few to step up each game. And I mean, they're winning football games. It's hard to be mad at that, you know.
And they almost won the first one. I mean, I know almost isn't good enough, especially in the NFL. But it's like they played like I thought Lions. We both think Lions and Jaguars are kind of like not super contenders, but like there's respectable teams they played well against.
They have good shots to win the division. Yeah.
I don't know. The Broncos look good. Good.
What do the Broncos have to do with anything?
Well, we'll get to them. We talking about the division, the AFC West.
Oh.
Or are you talking about the Jaguars and the AFC South?
I was talking about both teams have a good chance to win the division, being the Jaguars and the Lions.
That's fair.
Chiefs should win this division. I mean, after watching this week, they all look bad. I mean, they're the only team that won.
I could take my shirt off right now. I won't.
What does that have to? First of all, no. And second of all, what does that have to
I'm
do
just
with
letting you
it?
know that's how good I feel about this right here. Now, if I hear one more person say, well, the Caleb Williams 6-6 Cardinals, hold on. Last I checked, any given Sunday, 28-7 in the third quarter. Last I checked, down 14 with like 6 minutes left. And last I checked, that was the best Giants offense I've seen with Daniel Jones. Like Saquon, before he got injured, I know he's got an MRI today. He got kind of bottled up late in like a weird twisting play. Hope he's okay, because that could be a huge problem. But Jalen Hyatt showed up. Harris Campbell, Hodgins or whatever.
Isaiah Hodgins,
yeah, Waller, wow, like 10 catches of his own. Listen, this Giants team, Daniel Jones, I mean, I love what Brian Dable was doing because, like I said, the second half, I wasn't even pretty defense. This dude was just making plays. It looked like Josh Allen used to. I know Josh Allen had a good game as well. But I'm saying this was the best Giants offense. They were pushing – there wasn't a conservative crowd, which is why I told you, what is it with the Cowboys, man? Why is Daniel Jones turning to this little small, sad creature that he's every other team he's pushing downfield? Like, what are we doing? Come on, man. Good, better game than what people thought it was going to be.
I don't know if better is the right word. It's just, you know, you talk about Daniel Jones, how he egged versus the maybe arguable best team. You know, that's, you know, in the league, and then goes to the arguably worst team in the league, and they're shut out in the first half. I mean, they were shut out for 6 quarters to open up this. So
they were about to be down by, what is that, 61 points in the first 2 games? That's not good.
To the Cardinals, who literally, I mean, they let James Conner run all over them. Saquon Barkley can't run. Whether you think they're tanking or not, the fact of the matter is they're not a good team. They're just not. They're not a good team. They've choked away a lead to the Commanders. Let's be honest, the Commanders aren't a great team. And then they had the freaking Giants shut out for half the game. And then they were like, oh, wait, this isn't how you get the number 1 pick. Sorry, we're on the bus. See ya.
I'm getting tired of hearing that. Like that's an old. I know if it wasn't Daniel Jones, I might have a different tune here. But I mean, if you watch this game, Daniel Jones, they were shoving that ball down the field, and that was good coverage, like almost every single time. Like this was not like a game Like, if Aaron, I'm telling you, if you watch the condensed, like just any replay of that game, I promise you, this was. I have not seen a Giants offense that looked that good in a
Good.
long.
Hopefully they can build on it, but this can't be a game they're proud of.
I mean, I don't think they are. That's why they were so fired up to actually come back and win the game. But I still think you had to feel good that the offense did step it up because it shows potential if Saquon is healthy. I swear to God.
You know what's funny is at best I could find one win on the Cardinals' schedule, and it wasn't against the Washington Commanders or the Giants, and they toyed around with their food with both of those guys. And they got Dallas, San Francisco, Cincinnati, the Rams, Seahawks, Baltimore. Blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on. The only win I can still even find on their schedule is at Chicago, and that's
that's bad for Justin Fields at this point.
That's week 17. Who knows? Clayton Tune might be in at that point. But
I would hope so.
I mean, for a team that finished in last place, this is their schedule. I mean, like I said, all the teams I just mentioned. Then you go Cleveland, Atlanta, Houston. Okay, they might beat Houston. The Rams, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Chicago, Philly, and Seattle. Like, that's the hardest fourth place schedule I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not winning a football game. You can't be proud of this team. Like, if the Giants can build off of this, which I don't know who they play next, but if the Giants can build off of this and continue forward, like, they have to feel like this is we didn't go down 0-2. We played a great second half in desperation mode. But now they got to go to San Francisco next week.
That's tough.
Good thing they're not going down 0-2.
That's a good point. And I also want to say that it's a good thing. Because James Conner, most of that was like in the first 2.5 quarters, I do want to say. That could not happen to Christian McCaffrey. That game's going to get 40-0 again.
Yep.
You're not going to touch the ball.
I think the line's got to be greater than a touchdown in this game. Maybe 7.5 again.
It is too.
The Giants 49ers.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys beat the Jets 30-10. And before I swear to God, I know Zach Wilson threw 3 interceptions when they had finally fallen down like 28-10 or whatever, 27-10. But that game was closer than I actually thought it was. I was watching the replay. I was like, this game was close for a good 2.5, 3 quarters. Wow. This game was all about Micah Parsons, in my opinion. There were times where Zach Wilson could make some throws, and other times where it's like Micah Parsons, he beat the center and the left guard probably 15 times in this game. It was like, good God, block the dude. And this is why I'm like,
not that easy.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers could have done any much better, because Zach, I think, is twitchier and more mobile at this point in his career than Aaron Rodgers is. I mean, this was tough to see, because the Jets offensive line, I think Rodgers was hit 3 or 4 times in his first couple of dropbacks that he had. So it's like, dude, Jets have, they've got to, their offensive line's got to get fixed. And that defense can do all it can. And after that, it's like, you've got a problem. I don't care who your quarterback is.
Sidebar, the 49ers are 10.5-point favorites to open up the week. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I understand. I mean, Dallas is dangerous. And I know I'm not trying to jump on the hype train just yet, because every year I feel like I do it. And I have a soft spot for Dak a little bit. But they're really good. And I think this was a classic case of the Jets defense eventually just got worn down. I mean, they just but wasn't it like 17-10 in the first half?
It was 27-10 for 21-10. It was still very close, 30-10, obviously.
And I've been in Zach Wilson's corner probably since midway through last year, whenever he got benched. If that's the way, I know you say he didn't play bad, but I don't think he played mediocre to average football either. I don't think he played average either, in my opinion. So
I think he played average. I don't think he played good, though.
Well, you have to. He played average last year, and the balls bounced the right way, and they went 7-2. When you play average and the balls don't bounce the right way, I don't see.
You see the throw I sent you? You see the throw I sent you this morning?
Yeah, I saw it. Okay, so he makes one throw, and
wow, that was most of the throws he made.
But I mean,
A lot of them were like, wow.
How do you feel so confident the Jets are going to do anything with Zach Wilson? They're just not.
I'm not, because I didn't think they were going to do anything with Aaron Rodgers, and that shows you what. And even though I still have fallen off on Aaron Rodgers, that offensive line is horrible. You can't get away with that.
And it's funny because I texted you and I said, hey, is it crazy for me to think the Jets might be better off with Zach Wilson, less pressure, And now I just again this is against the Cowboys. You can take it with a grain of salt. Can they win their division? They can't play the Bills every week. I mean, do I think this team can beat the Dolphins? No. Do I think this team can beat the Patriots? Yeah, once.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the Bills will come in and get them again, or get them for real that time. They're not going to play dumb to this team anymore. I just, I've heard the Kirk Cousins rumors swirling around. I mean, if Minnesota goes 0-3, but is bringing a new quarterback in the right? I mean, it's got to be the only play. They don't have Mike White anymore.
I will say for the Jets, yes, I do believe they should bring a new quarterback, because they obviously do not like Zach Wilson. Like Garrett Wilson, one play in the first quarter, Zach throws him a ball, and of course it floats on him, and Garrett Wilson's all pouting, and then he drops him pass 2 plays later. Like, whatever. They don't like this guy. Just draft somebody, idiots. Just draft him.
Well,
give Zach Wilson someone who gives a crap.
Yeah, I just don't know where Zach goes next year. Maybe he goes he can't go to the Cardinals.
Bay Buccaneers.
No, please, for the love of God, no. Give me Baker. Baker's 2-0. Why would I want Zach Wilson?
Baker's not doing bad, I ain't gonna lie.
Baker's doing just fine. I mean, I'm rooting for the hell out of him.
As you said, he might.
He just might have a career year, and they're 2-0.
Right.
They're doing. I'm fine with it. I mean, I always want to see your team win. Even though tanking sounds good, like Caleb Williams isn't a guarantee. So,
I agree. Thank you.
I don't want to see 10-7 or 9-8 and miss the playoffs, and you're picking 19th. It's
or even worse, 7-10 or 8-9. You're picking 14th.
14th, yeah.
Yeah. All right, communists and I love saying. I don't know why. I love that. Commanders and the Broncos. Listen, I'll be honest with you. This game at the end, remember talking Sean Payton was doing. Now I will admit the offense looked better than it has with Russell Wilson. Probably since he got there. Commanders defense, we don't know if it's suspect. I guess after 2 weeks against Josh Dobbs and the Broncos, or what's left of them, they might be suspect again. This was a shootout. No one saw it coming. And at the end of the game, 2-point conversion after the freak Hail Mary that bounced off of 2 different guys. And then all of a sudden, we thought it was a pass interference. Shut up. Shut up. Come on, guys. Your defense gave up 35 to a road team in Denver. Just shut up. You lost the game. So the players should not make it better for the fan base to say, oh, the refs did. Shut up. Broncos, you're not a good team. Sean Payton, humble pie. Here's your slice today, sir.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of this game. I actually laid down for a nap yesterday. I think that's the first time I've ever done that during NFL football. But yeah, I just, I was shocked to see the score. I don't think anybody expected a shootout of sorts with these two teams, especially after their week 1, efforts.
Raiders have a good defense.
I don't really know what to take away from this game. What do you take away from it? Okay, Sean Payton, you scored more points, you still lost. You blew a home lead.
That's bad in Denver.
They were up by what, 10? I know that. Well, they were up 21-3 in the beginning.
Oh,
but
I didn't even know that part. That's even worse.
Yeah, they got out to a 21-3 lead and blew it. I think they went up again, and I don't know what to make of this. The Broncos defense is supposed to be the strength, the stalwart, the calling card, and you gave up 35 to the Commanders. You made Sam Howell look like a beast. I'll never understand this decision, and it happened. It's never going to change. But these teams that go up 21-3 or 28-3, just stop playing football. Just kill the team in front of you. I don't care. I know I just talked about sportsmanship, with the Dion segment and everything.
You can still smash a team, though.
Well, there are some rules.
Well, they scored 81. It's not like they were just running it up. Well, this is how they play. They didn't let off the gas.
No, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like in the NFL, no lead is safe. Just stay
in
on
a passing league. I agree.
Stay on their throats. At this point in time, if you're up 21-3, again, I don't know if that's what they did and it just didn't work. But my guess is that they really started to get run heavy. I'm going to look at the box score here. Let's see how many. I mean, they only ran 23 times. I don't know. It was very ineffective, except for Russell Wilson. He ran 6 for 56.
But
I gotta guess that I'm gonna just go on a limb and say that they go conservative. Like, just stay on people's throats. Don't let them come back, because this is what happens.
Probably 15 of those runs might have come when they were up 21-3.
That's true. Probably a lot of it did. You're right.
Titans beat the Jaguars 27-24 in overtime. Congratulations, Tennessee. You're as good as the Colts.
No, they didn't.
That's got to feel good. That's got to feel good, right?
They beat the Chargers, not the Jaguars.
Same thing. Sorry.
The Chargers are a long way from the Jaguars as it stands right now.
He was crazy, dude. Justin Herbert, I don't know why. As good as he is with Keenan Allen, boy, he doesn't know where anybody else is on the field. Like, he and his receivers had like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, where is he going? Where are they going? Because that's not happening. But that's the perfect example of either Kellen Moore or, God knows, Brandon Staley. Something ain't right. Because I'm like, Herbert has got a cannon on an arm. He wants to throw downfield. They're like, no. Oh, I thought I was running a curl. No. Titans should not have won this game.
They should not have won this game. You know, I hear all of this. Chargers defense, this. Joey Bosa, this. You know, Derwin James, this. Kenneth Murray, this. Last week, the Saints made Ryan Tannehill look like a Pop Warner quarterback. This week, he looked like an all-pro.
And Murray had a terrible penalty. Derrick Henry suddenly decided to run the ball down their first lane. Like, they couldn't stop him. And over time, Chargers got the ball first, and they still – there we go. Chargers going to lose the game.
The Chargers and Justin Herbert, for me, is the new Jay Cutler when I'm betting.
Oh, and he's that's the worst part.
When I tail them, they suck ass. And when I fade them, they're giants. They're all pro. I don't get it. The Chargers are on my blacklist right now. They should have won. They should have won this game handedly, and they let Tennessee stick around. Now, again, I'm higher on. Well, we're both kind of high on Tennessee this year, surprisingly. Despite
second.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you had them win in the division, no?
No, I had Jaguars, but I had Tennessee being the second best team. I didn't see the Colts Texans pulling it off.
Right. But yeah, I mean, to me, this is just, you're right. I just don't understand. Well, he can find Keenan Allen, but the rest of these guys, it's just like they're invisible to him. I know Mike Williams had 8 catches as well, but
not when they need them.
This is absolutely inexcusable when you're in a division with the Chiefs to lose games that you shouldn't lose. Sorry. I'm just.
Yep, because Chiefs, I mean, they could have. Chiefs could very well be 2-0 if it's not for Kadarius Toney's hands.
That is very true.
And so Chargers got a good thing they play the Chiefs well twice a year. That's a great thing for them.
So here's the thing, though. Staley, when he loses, I think he's got 18 losses in his career, or 19 losses in his career, and like 15 of them are by 5 points or less. Like, what do you make of that? Like, he's a guy
that's on the coach.
He can get you to the water, but he just can't make you drink it. It's tough to me. Like,
I'm picturing Brandon Staley like based on a horse right now.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what to make of him, because it's like everybody, he's on everybody says he's on the hot seat, but it's like he's so close in these games. What was the coach before him? I can't think of the black guy. Anthony Lynn. It was the same way. It was the same thing. He would go 8-8 every year, and he would lose the games that he would lose by 7 points or less. And it's like, he's got to go. But here's Brandon Staley doing the same exact thing, and they'll, I don't know. Maybe he won't be around at the end of the season. I think.
Wasn't he like the defensive-minded guy that was supposed to help them, like some of their offense couldn't maneuver without having to be in shootouts?
Was he defense or offense? I know he came from the Rams, but.
I've heard that. I think people keep reminding me as a defensive guy. Like, wow.
Oh well, if he's a defensive guy, they're bad. They're bad.
I mean, they have a lot of names are cool. Names don't win football games.
Well, they do in San Francisco. They just don't do in LA. No.
Joey Bosa, Kenneth Murray, Sonny Samuel Jr. Wow.
Derwin James, the list goes on. Yeah, this defense is loaded with names, but they're not performing.
Yep. Bills beat the Raiders 38-10. Next topic. No kidding. Josh Allen had a bounce back game. Congratulations. Like Bills fans, congrats. I'm happy for you. Next. Any take on you, or you're good?
Nope.
Same. Sorry. When we come back, Monday Night Football preview. Don't go anywhere.
All right, we're back with the last segment here, Monday Night Football preview on the Monday show, presented by Shank It Golf. Right there in the corner, you see the logo. It's available on mikeandaarondrive.com. When you're in the site, please use promo code AMDrive for 15% off, or you can just go straight to shankitgolf.com. That's one thing I like the promo code better than the link for our affiliates. Because if they just go straight to the site, they can always just use the promo code. Sometimes if the affiliate, you just go straight to the site, then it doesn't help out the channel.
Fanatics fans. Ask Fanatics people why they don't do that. Yeah.
But when you use that promo code AMDrive for 15% off, helps out the channel, hashtag tremendously. And for that, we are hashtag shankful.
You know what's funny? I forgot to mention I didn't forget to. It was the Colts and Texans. But shout out Gardner Minshew for at least holding things down for us once again. And listen, dude, I was almost named my best of the weekend early was that Anthony Richardson self-reported a concussion. I tried to go back in the game after his head slammed the turf, and didn't feel like he did a good. I didn't feel like he could do a good job. So I want to get a quote real quick, and then I'll move on because I thought this was for modern day NFL player to do this. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for him. Where's it at? So Kylan Granson, our tight end, one of our 20 tight ends, said, I feel like that's the most mature thing you can do as a professional athlete is to acknowledge, hey, I'm not right now. I'm not going to help my team win, so let's put someone in there who can help us win, Gardner Minshew, and I'll come back. So I think that was a very mature professional thing because the last thing you want is someone to play through something like that, even though you're a competitor, blah, blah. Great job for him. We were already up like USC was the first Colts player since Edgerrin James to rush for two touchdowns in the first quarter. I was like, wow, okay, he's not bad.
So, obviously, time and place matter because if he was a fourth-year starter with a rookie quarterback coming in trying to take his job, I don't know if he'd report that. But since he has no chance of anybody taking his job, he'll take a couple weeks off.
I don't know, a couple weeks, but I do want to mention that this is weird too. I want your take on this. The NFL like safety person or whatever he is was like people were asking like why didn't they report his head slamming the turf? Well,
he looked okay.
Well, that's why his thing was like, oh, he looked okay. I'm like, yeah, but 9 times out of 10, Tua, and even other people, you have a guy like against the turf, and you don't think anything happened. I don't believe that. Like because we already know concussions are kind of studied, kind of not studied very well right now. Why risk that? Like, check him. Don't just let him go out there. Check him at least.
But what if I don't know what happened on the sideline, but I mean, when he popped up, he looked like he was celebrating with his teammates. Everything looked okay.
That's fine.
If he was checked right away, I don't know. Maybe this is delayed kind of concussion symptoms. Like if he's checked right away and they're like, yeah, everything checks out, and he goes back in and he's tuna noodle soup. I mean, then then what do you do? Then you blame him. Like these guys can't do anything right.
That's fair.
I don't know. They're in a tough spot, especially with the NFL. Let this go on for so long. They're just in a tough spot. I mean, maybe you just check everybody. You don't have time to check everybody after any tough hit,
I just think the bouncing off the turf thing is kind of like one of those ones like, oh, come on, Dale.
So maybe they should put little devices in the helmets
Have you seen those neck things they're wearing? They're supposed to help with concussions. I'm like, how? It's like keep your balance or something like that. It's weird.
Interesting. I know they used to have neck rolls. They used to have neck rolls back in the day.
I saw that. Yeah.
Football. But maybe there's a device that if this helmet hits something hard enough, it like sends a signal to the concussion spotter to, hey, we need to check this guy. I don't know. I mean, they got so much technology. Like, all you can do is try.
Yeah, and they've done things. And by the way, this person, like this one of those doctors on Twitter, was like, I think like in practice, like they were, those big like pillow helmets they're wearing in practice.
Yeah, the looks like cushiony stuff. Yeah. Apparently
they've done it like they dropped it down like over like 50%, if I'm not mistaken. He was saying, and he was like, the only reason they're not using these things right now in games is because they look stupid. He said players aren't complaining that they're too heavy. There's like they're dropping concussions, like, and NFL doesn't care. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, you can liken it like to baseball. It's like, why don't you make the pitcher wear a cage? Because of how many pitchers get a ball right back to their freaking face. But the players don't want it. But every time it happens, fans are outraged.
I'm outraged. I'm woke.
It's like, I mean, I would say I'm overall in favor of the netting, although it does restrict my view. In baseball, when the netting goes all the way down, like, whose fault is it? You know that sitting in those seats, you're in danger. And when you're not paying attention, or even if you are, like, the ball's going to come fast. Like, if you don't feel comfortable, sit in a different damn seat, But we had to keep people safe from themselves. Like you said, everybody wants to complain about concussions, but then when they actually introduce something, like, hey, we can use this in the game. No,
it looks too soft. The game is horrible now.
It looks stupid. No, I mean, the game is soft. It is a violent game.
But you can't argue in favor and then say, well, they can't hit a quarterback anymore. Well,
I'm not in favor. I think the game is a violent game.
I'm telling other people, though, the masses, though.
I think the game has gone soft, but I also know that growing up, playing it and watching it, like, it's a violent freaking game.
I think football is football, and I think you can't change it.
And it can change. Your life can change in the course of a play, but you're also lucratively paid for that opportunity. Even if even if you are a lower tier player, you're still making like 10 times the national average salary. So,
Aaron Rodgers slips in his Achilles. Oh, they're going to change the turf now.
Well, did you hear Keith Olbermann? He's like, he tore his Achilles because he's not vaxxed. Like, fuck off.
That was the F word, by the way. That's not even going to require a play.
You didn't miss that one, yeah.
No, good.
Did you watch the Pat McAfee replay with Aaron Rodgers?
No, but I love Pat McAfee. That's probably going to be fun.
If you get a chance, watch his interview with Aaron Rodgers post Achilles surgery, and Pat McAfee told him, he's like, Keith Olbermann tweeted, you got hurt because you're not vaxxed, and Rodgers like, why don't you go have another booster, Keith? Like, you bum. It was great. I don't like Aaron Rodgers a lot, but that was great. But yeah, I mean, I always remember a quote. I don't know why it sticks with me, but I think more and more it becomes relevant. Like Tom Jackson, I don't know if you remember him. He used to do primetime with Berman.
Yeah, the big black dude. He was cool.
Yeah, the old Broncos linebacker. He said, I get up every morning, stiff, hurting, and my body hurts, my head hurts, but I wouldn't trade it for the time I got to spend in the National Football League. He's like, it's a decision I made. I could have gone and been in construction and well, that's the other thing. Guys in construction are getting their bodies torn up for pennies on your dollar. So I don't feel bad.
Luke Kuechly realized they're like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Good for you, Luke. See you later.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for football players. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you think it's all flashy and gritty, Justin Jefferson, it ain't like that. When Justin Jefferson, you saw a hit that he put out week 1 after an interception.
I don't remember.
Laid out some dude. That was pretty funny. Monday Night Football, Saints Panthers game 1. Saints by 3,000.
Yeah, I think Saints win this game as well. I'm probably gonna have a teaser in the books if I do get one. I'll tweet it out on AM Drive Picks. But if I'm picking it straight up, something just kind of speaks to the over for me. I think Bryce Young, Panthers gonna look a little better at home. I'm giving them like 17 to 20 points. I'm giving the Saints 24. Give me the over 39.5 in this one. I think Derek Carr is the better quarterback right now, but I think the Panthers get a little right at home at this point.
Nice. Browns, Steelers. This game is the last Miami Drive 5. I think I got it at 38.5, so I'm happy about the hook there, especially a lower score than it is. I think Browns win, and I think it's under. I think that Deshaun Watson looked as bad as the media wants to say he looked. I thought he looked like he's kind of back with his dynamic escapability, and that could help against. Oh, hi, TJ Watt.
Yeah, TJ Watt is a menace. Did he have 3 sacks last week too?
Right.
But this is a tougher game. For one, I don't understand why we have 2 Monday night games in week 2. It's so random.
I agree. I thought it was like, can we get this over with in week 1?
And 2, why do we have 2 Monday night games in the Eastern time zone that are an hour off from each other?
Because marketing, I'll wait.
Like, none of this I can't watch 2 games at the same time. What are we doing?
I'm going to work. I don't even care about these 2 games.
I'm gonna watch them.
I watched the replay.
I mean, I'm excited for the games. I'm just saying, like, I can't watch them both at the same time. Like, none of this makes sense.
Can I get YouTube TV? No.
I don't think this falls under YouTube TV. Like, this doesn't fall under
it's
the Sunday.
nationally televised. I know, but I'm just. But you can still get it on there. There's still the games.
I don't think Sunday Ticket applies to nationally televised games. It didn't.
Oh, that's stupid.
It didn't for DirecTV.
Because some people don't have NFL Network, and they try to force that on us a few times every a couple Thursdays a year.
Well, now they're Amazon, so
Even worse.
I don't know. I like it. I have Prime. It works for me.
Shout out Joe Burrow, who's got a calf injury. And one other person I was thinking of here that's like, anyways, we'll get to it. Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers might have a miraculous recovery. Because leave Aaron Rodgers, when he tears his Achilles, to have some innovative tryout surgery that actually works. Good job for Aaron Rodgers that did work, but good Lord, it was scary.
I mean, when you're 40, why not take a chance?
Right, might as well. I'm only tired in a year. Let me just try surgery that might kill me. Good. I don't know if it would have killed him, but you know.
Yeah, I'm going with Pittsburgh in this game, by the way. So.
Oh, that's a bad pick.
Well, maybe so. We'll see.
I got another perfect score this week too. Ravens 27-24.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for us here. Hope you enjoyed this. Enjoy your Monday. We'll be back with you guys on Wednesday. Until then, visit MikeandAaronDrive.com for all the shop sponsors, socials, and YouTube. For Michael Crivellis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying gamble responsibly, enjoy your work week, and of course, as always,
Drive safe.
see you again.